Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. You know, the first round has already started, which is just weird scheduling, but the man that has, and he and I have already talked about the scheduling issues within the NBA, Austin, and the man that predicted the Pacers win over the Bucks.
I did, Kevin, and I am not really all that surprised by it. I do think that was going to be something that happened, especially when we figured out that Giannis was maybe a little bit more injured than the Bucks care to admit. But we will do a video on the Bucks and the whole Doc Rivers situation at a later time. So we don't have to go fully in depth on their history, but bad series, but mainly because they don't have Giannis. And I think every series they don't have Giannis, they're going to be in a much bigger disadvantage.
Yeah, and then another disadvantage was Dame getting out earlier. And so I don't know if I really blame Doc Rivers, but I'll leave that for the video coming up, talking about that. So, yeah, but credit to the Pacers to get that win. And this is a big season for them because of the Pascal Siakam trade. He is a free agent this year. And congrats to Rick Carlisle finally getting his first series win since 2011.
That's true. And he did it on a team not named the Mavs. And now he plays a former Mav in Jalen Brunson in the next round. But we can go into that series. It was close. Embiid had some questionable plays maybe that he should have got a flagrant 2 or whatever, but the Knicks pulled it out, and I really like how this Knicks team is looking.
They are a deep team, and I may have to eat my words on the Knicks going to the conference finals with Jalen Brunson as their number one. But yeah, this is also, we can talk about that series, but yeah, it's also a series where Jalen Brunson didn't play. He played under 15 minutes. In that game 7, lost to the
Clippers.
Clippers.
10 minutes in the game 7.
Played 10 minutes, yeah. I couldn't remember. But yeah, now we got Cavs versus Magic. You and I both had the Magic winning. This one went to a game 7. Cavs kind of pulled away. Magic, I think they just need shooting, but credit to the Cavs for getting this. They're kind of facing a similar situation that the Pacers are dealing with Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, and the Cavs Magic, that's the only series, Kevin, in the first round I got wrong, sadly. I was holding the Magic pulled it out in game 7, but the home game won every game in that series, Kevin. And so I do think that home court advantage mattered at least a little bit.
Yeah, and then we go to the Celtics. Boston won 5-1 gentleman sweep. Nothing too shocked there. The Heat just got on fire for one game and were able to get one.
Yep, I predicted it to be in 5 because I anticipated that situation. Maybe if Jimmy was there, they would have had a better chance of making this more interesting. But the Celtics were the better team, and I'm not shocked.
Yeah. Now we'll go to the Nuggets versus Lakers. And the Nuggets, like we talked about this can a series be close if it's a sweep? This one was close, but the Nuggets just have that gear. And that gear may be Jamal Murray.
Yeah, or Aaron Gordon or MPJ or Jokic or all these other guys that played extremely well. And the Nuggets were the better team the entire series. I know that the Lakers got a big lead and lost it almost every game that they ended up losing, but we know that of the Lakers from last year too. If you're losing 8 of 9 games that you play in the playoffs against a team over 2 years, are you going to say that you're better? No, you're not. And the Nuggets move on to play a really good team in the second round.
Yeah, and now we go to the Timberwolves versus Suns, and it seems like that Rudy Gobert trade is working out because their defense is much better. Austin, so like there are some clips where I'm like, oh, Anthony Edwards does look like Michael Jordan. And I haven't read the article yet, but can we kind of cool down on Anthony Edwards being Michael Jordan? Seems a little bit too quick for me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of also the situation of his birth and how he doesn't know his father and all these other things. It may actually be true, but I get what your point is that it's maybe a little bit too quick for a player that is still so young and has to prove so much.
Yeah, and to me, I didn't know that situation, but it's the comparison of like, this is the next Michael Jordan. He's not the best player in the NBA right now. Like, that's just not true, in my opinion.
Yeah, I get that, but he had a great series, and at the time of this recording, the Nuggets he beat the Nuggets in Game 1, so he's 5-0 in the playoffs so far, and he's playing really well.
Yeah, no, he is playing well. I like his energy, like when he was doing the dancing and he does the thing to KD. I think that's great theater.
You had the Timberwolves winning the series, right?
Yeah. I didn't believe in the Suns.
Yeah, you and me both.
Yeah, I don't know if I believe in the Timberwolves, but because of Rudy Gobert, but it seems like they're starting to work out. I'm also a big fan of Naz Reid. But yeah. So that's my view of it. But yeah, I just want to mention, like, let's calm down. Anthony Edwards is a fantastic player. Let's just calm down on he's not the best player in the NBA yet. May never will be. Or may not. We'll see. But that's kind of my thing. So yeah, I don't think there's much. The Suns, it stinks that they swept. They got swept. We kind of talked about them already, but credit to the Timberwolves as we kind of made fun of them for that Rudy Gobert trade, and it's starting to work out.
Yeah, we'll see how far they get.
Yep. Now we go Mavs versus Clippers. We are doing a video to talk about the Clippers and that situation. But the Mavs, I just would like to talk about the roster construction. To me, the roster construction is what made this series, the Mavs win the series, because Luka was not Luka. He struggled from 3-point. He started getting better. I love their defense, but that could also be because of Daniel Gafford, Derek Lively. To me, Kyrie Irving was also huge in this, and this is, even though with his off-the-court issues, he's such a fantastic player, and he can just turn it on like he did in Game 6 when he struggled in the first half and then ended up with like 30 points to end the game.
Yeah, I think he had 28 second-half points, and he hit that amazing 3 over PJ Tucker and won. Great player. Props to the Mavs for beating their devil.
Yes, and the Clippers, which is great, and yeah, I'll take that on this one because to me it was tough, but yeah, it was good series by them. Now we go to the Thunder Pelicans. The Thunder swept them too. They just Pelicans struggled, but to me it's just the Thunder. I'm not surprised by the Thunder winning that.
Well, it's also Zion was out, and I don't think they really had a chance at the Pelicans after Zion was confirmed to be out for the series. So, well, I definitely think this Pelicans team needs a little bit of a retool. Not having Zion is your biggest issue.
Yeah, I agree. So we'll just have to see what that is. So now we can kind of go into the second round. The second round is already happening with the Timberwolves playing Game 2 tonight as well, which is crazy because I think it was on I guess it did start. No, we had Game 7 was yesterday, and Nuggets versus Timberwolves was the day before. I don't get that. That doesn't make sense to me. But I'm not too worried about the Nuggets. I know they are dealing with injuries, but I still believe in Jokic and Jamal Murray. But credit to the Timberwolves coming out and landing the first punch.
Yeah, credit to them. We'll see. I think this will be a long series. I ended up having the Nuggets winning 7 over the Timberwolves, so maybe it holds true, maybe not. I really like the Timberwolves, how they're playing defensively, but I think Gobert's out for Game 2. We'll see if he is going to be out. But this Nuggets team's not going to go down easy no matter what, and I think it'll be a really tight series.
Yeah, I think it'll be tight, and the Timberwolves could pull it out. But to me, I'm giving credit to the champion. And yeah, it's going to be a tough series. Same thing I think can be said with Thunder versus Mavericks, as long as the Mavericks come to play. And the Mavericks got by with Luka not playing well. He played well in defense, but offensively, he was not hitting his 3. And when he's hitting his 3, he's a fantastic player.
Yeah,
so
Yeah, I ended up having the Mavs in 7 here. I think no matter what's going to be a really close series. I could see it going either way, though. I think this is probably the closest second round series, just because I don't really know how certain players are going to show up. We'll have to see if Luka can get his shot going.
Yeah, I believe he can. But yeah, this is no easy game. I like this matchup, just because I trust in Luka. Also Kyrie as well. Maxey, I think, does hurt because he was hitting threes well, and he does add a spacing option. But this is where Coach Kidd is going to have to really earn that extension. So, yeah, he's going to be the coach for a while. So he better start coaching, which he has done better good job. But this Thunder team is good. And to me, it's just their inexperience. Can they play well against Mavericks? We're going to find out. But I think this is going to be a close series. It can go either way. This isn't, to me, once I saw the Clippers and the Mavs play and the Mavs get some wins, I'm like, okay, the Mavs are better when they focus. Mavs have to be focused. And even if they are focused, I'm not sure if they can win some game.
The Thunder are a great team. I think this is going to be a really close series. I don't know about either of the Easter series, though. I think the Celtics have a much steeper advantage, especially if Jarrett Allen is out. Yeah, I know Kristaps may be injured, but I think the Celtics are the better team against the Cavs. I think they'll almost certainly win that series. We'll see, though, but I'm just not as confident in the Cavs right now as I am the Celtics.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot. And even with the Celtics, even with the injuries, I think they're better than the Cavs. We'll just have to see. Now with the Knicks-Pacers, Knicks probably do win this, but Pacers, to me, I think they're just going to need a little bit more from Halliburton. I know he struggled in some games. So I'm very curious to see what happens. But I think it's going to be an offensive battle.
Yeah, I had the Knicks Pacers in my prediction. I also have the Knicks sweeping this series. But Siakam has been a playoff performer in his career. I know he had some bad games against the Bucks this past series, but overall, he's been a great player in the playoffs, especially during his time in Toronto when they ended up obviously winning a title. But he averaged 22 and 9 over this series, shooting 55% of the field. But it's Halliburton, who's Miles Turner played amazing in the series against the Bucks, averaging 19 and 7. But Halliburton only averaging 16, 6 and 9. I don't think they can survive a series with Halliburton shooting 44% from the field and 29.6% from three. Siakam, I think, can really push his team and get them into some close series. But at the end of the day, I think it's really going to come down to how much will Halliburton step up against the Knicks.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. And is there a coaching battle? What does Rick Carlisle do? And
also,
yeah, I do like
some of the Brunson Doherty said that he remembers not playing a lot that last series in Dallas. So I think it's not necessarily bad blood, but
yeah. And I could write an essay on just what those two series, how those two series changed the Mavs.
Forever.
Yeah, forever. Because that will have changed the view of the KP era. Maybe Brunson get an extension. We'll never know. But it's a good hypothetical. But it seems like both teams worked out because I love Derek Lively. He seemed to perform well. And Kyrie, in my opinion, is better than Brunson, at least right now.
We'll see. I think that maybe you'll have to eat your words.
Yeah. It's okay. We'll see. I still stand by. I don't think Brunson can be that number one guy. There were sometimes he'd hit a three, but then sometimes he'd miss a shot. So I'm curious to see how he'll be defended.
Well, let's just put it this way. Brunson was the best player on his team during the first round, but I wouldn't say Luka was the best player on his team in the first round. So
that's true. And yeah, I think Luka was dealing with a lot, but yeah, he did not play well. But to me, that's what makes the Mavs dangerous. Is they will, because there's no way you can say in the previous iterations of the Mavs, Luka was not himself, and they still got out of the first round.
Yep.
So, and it was against a quality opponent. The Clippers were a good team. Just to me, the Thunder are better, so Luka has to show up, and I believe they will. I just hope they release the MVP awards before the game.
Well, yeah.
Will they? Or when are they announcing MVP?
I think they announce them by like the end of the second round. It'll be somewhere in the second round.
It's not in the first round anymore? Dang it. Because I remember
It's the
when
second
Dirk-
round right now, though.
But at the end of the second round, I need it during the second round. Like I need it kind of now.
They just announced Rookie of the Year today, announcing that Victor Wembanyama won it. But I still think we're probably 2 weeks away, which would be the
Okay.
end of the second round.
So they changed it from like the Dirk. Because I remember Dirk had to get his like right after.
Yeah.
He lost the first round. Well, someone just give Luka a fake MVP ballot and show Shea. That's what I need. But yeah, that's all we got. I think it's gonna be an entertaining on the West. I don't know about the East. So I'll toss this over to you to close it out.
Yeah. Thank you guys for listening. Please let us know what your picks are for the second round and how you felt about the first. Please catch you in our next video.